Okay, so good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome today to Atlassian Community Event, Kolkata virtual event. This is actually the first virtual event for Kolkata chapter, so thank you for joining in. And I'm really overwhelmed that many of the chapters they collaborated with us. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the support of Shivam. Rather, he helped me a lot to triage a lot of issues, which was derailing from the event happening in the first place. So I'm really grateful for your support, namely Faridabad, Chandigarh, Patna. Um, Jaipur, Ghaziabad, and Pune chapters. So thank you so much. And before we start off, so it will be great to know from where you are joining in. So if you can drop it in the chat, it will be great. Okay, so Rupendra is joining from Pune. Kash is also from Pune. Yeah, Shivam, you're from Ghaziabad. Hari is from
At the edge
Chennai.
of Delhi, basically.
Yeah, good to have you, Shivam. It was really assuring when you
Yeah.
joined today.
Hello, everyone. I was stuck in traffic, so yeah, I was on listening mode. Yeah, so good to see you all here. Hi.
Yeah, so just to introduce you, Shivam is basically the community champion for both Faridabad and Jaipur chapter. And yeah, I mean, okay. Hello, Ankita. Good to see you after the last in person event. Thank you for joining in. So, Ankita is from Kolkata. Okay, so yeah, I mean, before we start off today's session, so we have Shomo with us, who is going to give you a walkthrough on how basically he leveraged Jira automation to secure code effectively. But yeah, before we dive into that, there is something that I want to, do it as an icebreaker. I understand it's a Saturday morning, so it will be difficult for many of you. But then I really salute to every one of you who has prioritized learning and wanted to learn something today and joined and showed up. So kudos to you. Yeah, so let me share my screen and we'll do a quick pulse check. Yeah, so I will request you guys to log into menti.com and you will be able to see a code here. So you need to key in this code for a quick short quiz to understand basically the audience of this session. So I see two people joined so far. Okay, so we have six folks already joined in. Um, who all are missing? I would request each one of you to join in. It's going to be fun. Um, we'll wait for a couple of more minutes and then we'll get started. And let me know if you're facing any problem in joining in. You can quickly type in the chat. Okay, so we have eight folks joined in. Okay, so we'll get started with this. So we have six players ready. Okay, we'll get started. So this is just to know, basically the audience. Um, Many of you are already making use of Jira, but what is the use case for which you're using Jira? So if you can just probably specify that, it would be great for us to understand. Okay, great. So I think sprint planning and agile ceremony, someone has voted for that. We have automation rules and workflows, followed by reporting and dashboard. Okay. So are we expecting any more selections from any more people? I think. Okay, so I will take that as a no, and I think probably we'll continue from here. So, yeah, I mean, the most, very popular or known use case is definitely sprint planning and agile ceremonies. I think whoever uses Jira, I think that's the classic case of using Jira. But yeah, there are few other cases also. One which we are going to discuss today, how we can use or leverage automation using it. And yeah, so I think with that, I will stop sharing my screen and probably I will pass it to Shomo. So before
Yeah.
Shomo kind of takes it over, just to give a brief on our agenda today. So today's theme basically sits at the intersection of two things that the modern software cannot afford to not incorporate, one being automation, another being security. And it's not either or, it's both. So both are important, and important from the perspective of the fact that we spend so much time in building products, shipping and iterating them, and these are something most of the time which we do not value that much when it comes to security. So it is essential that we are looking at all the aspects while building our products. And yeah, so Shomo is working as a senior software engineer with Highland. He was there in the last in-person event of Kolkata chapter, which happened on 10th of Jan, and I'm lucky to have him as a speaker for today's session. So he's going to walk us through how we can leverage Jira automation to track the vulnerabilities, and he's going to basically uh, give a short demo if that's permissible. Because yeah, I mean, there is probably some issue with the demo. I think Shomo mentioned, but yeah, he's gonna try his best. Yeah, so please take it away, Shomo, from here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure, Ananya. Sure for giving me the chance to be a speaker, and really happy about it. So, without wasting any more time, I will quickly share my screen, and please give the thumbs up if my screen is visible. Is
It's
it
visible,
visible?
Shomo. Yeah, it's
Great.
absolutely
Thank you.
visible.
Okay. So I'm not much of a PPT person. I believe in live demos and basically showing codes how everything works. And please forgive me if my PPT doesn't look good. So yeah, so I will make it as a reading view for everyone's. Okay, so what is the agenda for today? Ananya already said a brief agenda that what we will be working through today, but yeah. So today's agenda is today I will show how we use Jira automation with GitHub Actions together to track and remediate security vulnerabilities which are present in your repo, right? So these days there are lots of vulnerabilities which are reported in repos, like for instance GitHub, and those are very hard to track these days. So Jira gives us two ways how we can do it. First one is Jira automation, and also you can write your manual GitHub action codes to track the vulnerabilities, create Jira ticket whenever a vulnerability is reported in your repo, right? So before we move forward, right? So I want to give a small introduction about me, basically what I do when I started my career with. So again, hi everyone, my name is Shomo. I have around 8+ years of experience in development, designing, architecture, security. Uh, you name it, I got everything. So basically, as a full stack developer, and here is my LinkedIn QR. You can scan, join me on LinkedIn. We can like share our knowledge to each other, right? So Jira automation, we will see. So first we will try with the Jira automation. Today we will see how a Jira automation work, how we can create a Jira automation to track the vulnerabilities. The next thing which we will see is the GitHub action to track the vulnerabilities which are present in your repository, right? So basically, this is the brief agenda. So first, we will be going with Jira and GitHub automation. Basically, how you can integrate GitHub with your Jira so that whenever a vulnerability is reported in GitHub, it will be automatically created as a Jira ticket, right? So to do that, we will see how we can write a Jira automation workflow, right? Then we will see some examples on GitHub actions for tracking the vulnerabilities, how we can track the vulnerabilities. Might be it is coming from any tool, right? So for instance, it is coming from Gripe, it is coming from Dependabot, or any tool which you use to track vulnerabilities in your GitHub repository. And if any tool is reporting any kind of vulnerabilities, those will be tracked with Jira, right? And we will be seeing what are the benefit, what are the challenges we might face, and the best practices eventually, right? So the first thing is to everyone. So why security automation matters? Like already, if you have set a particular tool in GitHub, right? So it will be showing you what are the vulnerabilities reported. But why automation matters, right? So the first thing is manual security tracking is slow and error prone, right? So if you go manually check each and every security vulnerabilities in your repositories by going to GitHub or in GitHub, then that process might be slow and it might take some time for you, right? Yeah, so the most important part, vulnerability get missed or ignored, right? So might be you are not checking the security tab in the GitHub repository for a long time, so a high or critical vulnerability might be missed and attacker can attack your repos, right? So developer and security team work in silos, right? So if your team has as a developer and if your team has a dedicated security team, they can work in parallel, they can work in silos. And no single place to track remediation. So for now, if I don't consider the Jira, there is no single place to track remediation, security remediation these days, right? So if you are using GitHub and you are working on multiple repos, so all repos uh, like give you security vulnerabilities or report security vulnerabilities, right? So we should be so there should be a place where all the security vulnerabilities should be mentioned without I go and search on each and every repos what are the security vulnerabilities coming, right? So what are the tools we will be focusing on today, right? So the first tool, obviously we will be checking Jira, right? So Jira we will be checking for issue tracking and workflows, and also writing the automation rules. And the next we will be using is GitHub. So GitHub is, I'm using GitHub for my source control, security alert like depend about code scanning, etc. Also we will be seeing the GitHub actions for the security workflows. So now the high level architecture, what we will be looking on the demos today. So for Jira automation, I will speak on automation now. So for Jira automation, like whenever a vulnerability is reported, might be a critical, high, medium, or low vulnerability found, right, in your GitHub repository, then we will be creating a work item and link the vulnerability to that particular work item, so that whenever you will be opening your Jira board or Kanban board, right, so all the security vulnerabilities can be listed there with backlogs, and whenever you go to that particular Jira ticket, the vulnerability details with the GitHub link is present over there, so that you don't need to manually create Jira ticket, and it's just automate everything for you, right? So the next thing which we will be seeing is GitHub with GitHub action. So how that will work is, let's say you have a repository, okay, and let's take an instance, it is a .NET repository or Angular repository, right? And whenever a developer pushes a code to GitHub, so let's say your security scanning runs, right? You might be using Gripe or depend about anything, right? Your security tools runs and it reports some vulnerabilities in your GitHub repository, right? So what the GitHub actions which we will be writing will use for, right? So first thing is we will be having a dependency scan with depend about, right? So it will scan the dependencies. If there are any issue or vulnerabilities reported in that, then it will be also checking the code scanning part where tools like Gripe reports error, right? So for that, if vulnerabilities are detected in both cases, specific GitHub actions workflows run and create Jira tickets. So there will be two ways which we are seeing today. One, utilizing the Jira automation, and another utilizing the GitHub actions, which gives you more which you can leverage if you need more detailed issue tracking in your Jira, right? So the next thing is, yeah, so Jira automation basics. So this I will not be going through this slide. Basically, I will try to show you directly in a live demo, but this is how the page looks like. Whenever you will be writing any automation, this is how the page looks like. So let me quickly go to Jira and let me know if you see my Jira tab now. Is the tab visible?
Yeah, it's visible, Shoma.
Okay, great. So again, there are some demo times problem from today morning. Jira is down, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. So there is something wrong at their end. But yeah, so first thing is where you see the vulnerabilities, right? So if you see, so I believe everyone is using Jira these days. If not, you can create your own account in Jira and like leverage that. So if you don't see the security tab, there is a plus icon. So whenever you will be creating your dashboard or you will be creating your space, so basically you can create a space from here just by clicking the plus icon and selecting what exactly you need for. So let's say I need for a software development, and it will ask what kind of board you need. So let's say I need a Kanban, and I can use this template to create a Kanban board, right? I'm not creating one, but just to show you, right? And when you create a Kanban board, so this is the board which I have created, and so you will not be seeing the security tab for the first time, right? So to enable it, you need to click this plus icon, and over here you will be seeing all the available tabs which are there, which is displayed in this, right? So you can select security, right? And Let me give it a refresh and see if still it's giving the same issue, or Jira is down, or it started to work. So just please bear with me. I believe there is the same issue. Okay, so till the time it loads, right? Let me do a duplicate tab and just go through the automation, how automation should be written, right? So if you see, you come to the space which you have created, and at the right side, you will be seeing a icon like this, which says automation. Okay, so when you click on this automation, right, you will be given an option for creating a new automation. So this is the option. So if you create on that or click on that, right, so let it load. Yeah, so it will say like this, a page will open for you, and it will say like, let's create your first rule and something like that. So when you click on next, right, so you can click on skip to, because I'm skipping. So now the first step. So when you want a trigger to be run, or when you want this automation to be run, right, so if I search, right, there will be an option for vulnerability. So let me give a type over here. So you see this vulnerability found. So these are already provided by Jira. Okay. So I will select this when a vulnerability is found. Okay. And so yeah, so please ignore this as of now, because we haven't connected our GitHub account with this Jira account for now. That is why it is giving this warning that GitHub account is not connected, or any security container is not connected for now, right? So please ignore this for now. So we will be seeing how to connect a security container in some time, right? So when the vulnerability or severity is detected, so what kind of vulnerability severity you want to track. Let's say I want to track all critical, high, medium, and all vulnerabilities, low vulnerability. Okay, so I give it I over here and just click on next. Okay, so after that, what you want to do, so whenever a vulnerability is found or reported in your security container, which means in your GitHub repository, then what you want to do, so then what I want to do is I want to create a new ticket. Okay. So create a subtask. Yeah, create work item. If you see, there is an option for create work item, which will be inside the Jira, right? So what I can do is I will create a work item, right? I want to create the work item in the same space. So for example, this is my space called developers, and inside that only I want to create the work item or the Jira ticket. So what will be the issue type? So whenever a ticket will be created, so what kind of issue you want to create the ticket? Okay, so it might be a story, it might be a task, or it might be a bug. I will not say to make it as a feature, epic, or subtask, but you can make it as a task, story, or a bug. So let's take an instance. I want it to be as a task. Okay, now so summary. So there is a particular way where we can give the summary, right? So I can give it like this: vulnerability dot display name. So it will automatically scan my security container and take the display name of the vulnerabilities which I want to create over here. Okay. So the next thing is, what will be the description? So description also you can give it like this. So these are already the placeholders which are present for Jira when you connect the container. Okay, so vulnerability.container is will be the repository of the GitHub which you are connected, and also the vulnerability.description.wiki will be is the placeholder from where the vulnerabilities description will be copied. Okay, so that's it. I don't want any more thing. And if you want some more fields, you can select it from here. Let's say I want a label as well. Okay, so I can select a label field from here. And so what kind? So I want copy from work item. Let's say I want the labels to be copied from the work item labels which I have, right? I can select it here and click on next. Right now, so we saw the first step. Whenever the vulnerability is reported, what I am asking is then create a new ticket. And the last item I want is okay, then and yeah, and add a action. So after the ticket is created, what I want to do, right? So after the ticket is created, I want to link the vulnerability to the work item, right? So for that, let me search. Yeah. So again, Jira provides a way. So it says link a vulnerability to work item. I select it over here. So it will give you the same security warning that the security container is not connected as of now. So if a security container is connected with your Jira account, it will not be giving you this. But for now, it's giving, because I want to show you, like after an automation is created, then I want to like connect to a security container, right? So, and what I want to do is link vulnerability to work item. And what like when I want to link it, so for the most recently created work item, so whenever a most recently create work item will be created, I want to link the vulnerability to it. Okay, and I click on next, and that's done. And from here I just want to turn on the rule. Okay, so you can give any rule name. Let's say when a vulnerability is found, create a work item, and let's say I give it to give the rule for editing to all the admins present, and I want to turn on the rule, right? So it will take some time. Yeah, so the if you see, the rule is created and it's turned on. Okay, so this is the way how you can create a Jira automation, right? Now I want to go back to my space. So I have automation created. Now I want to like connect to a security container, right? So if you come to the security tab, okay, so you will be seeing over here, if a security container is not connected, or a GitHub account is not connected, it will ask you to connect a GitHub account to. Okay, so now let's say I want to connect. So connect new tool, you will be getting options of different things over here. So basically I will be using GitHub. Okay, so it will load. Let's give some time, it sometimes takes some time. Yeah, so this is my site, or this is my Jira account. Okay, and where I want to connect it's in Jira. So I will click on review, right? And I have it in Jira Marketplace or Atlassian Marketplace, this GitHub for Atlassian. Now I will just click on get it now. So basically it will install this GitHub for Atlassian in my Jira account. So let's again give some time. And yeah, so install GitHub. I will click on install GitHub. Okay, it's installing, I believe. Okay, let me close this and let me check if the account is linked or not. Because from today's morning, there are some issues again with Jira. It's taking lots of time to load the security tab, but the other tabs are working fine. So by the time it loads, let me get back to the PPT again. Yeah. So we have seen how we can create automation, right? So we'll go to the next slide. So yeah, so we have seen all the rules or the automation logic, right? When vulnerability is found, severity critical, high or medium or low, then create a new ticket and create in the same Jira space or project, right? And link the link the vulnerability to the work item, right? And what this Jira automation basically achieves, right? So every detected vulnerability will automatically tracked. Let's say a vulnerability is detected in your GitHub, it will automatically tracked. Okay, direct linkage between GitHub security alerts and Jira work item. So you don't need to go to GitHub now and go to the security tab of the GitHub just to look at what are the vulnerabilities present. All for all the vulnerabilities, there will be Jira ticket created in your space, which you can automatically track. Okay, full visibility for customer and security team. So the customers or the security teams and the developers can see what are the vulnerabilities present in your GitHub, right? And zero manual ticket creation. So now you don't need to create each and for each and every security vulnerability, you don't need to create manually tickets manually in your Jira, right? So I will go back again and see. No, we don't have any luck. It still says there are something wrong at their end. Okay, what I can do is I can go to development and see if development is working or not. Okay, yeah. So I believe this tab is working. So what I will do is, so as I have connected the new tool GitHub, so I will do the finish setup because I haven't like finished the setup. I'm not sure this is working or not as of now also. So these are the demo time problem which we face sometimes. So uh, please connect me with LinkedIn, ping me in LinkedIn. We can, so if anyone is interested, whenever this is up, we can connect and I can show you how to connect the GitHub or any security container with your Jira. Because I don't think it will work as of now because it is down from last 2 and 3 hours, right? I can't connect or see the security vulnerabilities over here. So let me show you from here only. So we have seen this, right? We have seen the whole Jira automation workflow and how Jira automation workflow will look like, right? We have created it. So now connecting Jira with GitHub, which I can't do it because Jira is down. So link GitHub repository to Jira. How you need to link your GitHub repositories to Jira, right? So there is a connect tools. After you connect the tools, you just need to specify which all which all repository you want to connect to, right? You might be you don't want to track all the repositories present, right? You just need you just want that specific repositories you want to track for vulnerability, right? So that is also possible, right? So I have a link over here. Let me quickly copy that link for everyone and paste it in the chat so that so this link has all the details how you can integrate or connect a security tool. Okay, so you it's a pretty simple and everyone can use it. So nothing much on that. Let me check the chats. Yeah, so I have given it in the chat as well. Yeah, so the last time what I will do is let me give it a try. So this is the last time. I will not waste any more time on this if it is not working today. So let me review, get it now. Okay, GitHub installation, get started. No, it's not working for today. It's not allowing us to install it. No, it has some errors. So sorry about that to everyone, but it's pretty interesting when you connect your security containers or GitHub to this and how the vulnerability is shown over here. That's also pretty interesting. So what I can do is quickly let me open my other Jira account and I will show whenever a vulnerability is reported how that vulnerability will look like. Okay, that I can do. So if I go to the backlogs, so I have couple of vulnerabilities which are created from the automation which I have in this account, and this account is already connected with the with GitHub. Okay, so my GitHub is already connected over here. So I believe there will be same issue with security over here. So I will not waste much of the time and I will just show a vulnerability how it looks like, right? So this is a vulnerability which is reported. Okay, so you will be seeing this is the vulnerability name and this is the description. So you will be getting a whole lot of description why this is vulnerability is coming and what's the exact vulnerability is, right? So you will be getting a huge description for yourself and what is the severity. Also you will be using the this is some of the links which will be given. So this is the link for my GitHub account. So if I click on this and go to my GitHub account, right? So you will be seeing, right? So inside security I have an open vulnerability and all these details are now present in my ticket. So this ticket is created from the Jira automation rule which I have created. So if you see the reporter, right? So the reporter says automation for Jira, right? So this ticket is created from that Jira automation which I have. So yeah, at least I can show you this ticket which is created for this vulnerability which is present in my GitHub, right? So I believe everyone knows if I have a particular repository. So this is one of my repository, right? So if I go to security, over here there will be different vulnerability alerts which you can see, right? So for dependabot, I have couple of highs open now, right? And if you have something, some code scanning tools like configured in your repository, so for code scanning you will be getting over here. Okay, so for dependabot, I have this one. Okay, and the same thing is also reported. So just think, if you don't have the Jira automation, then for each and every vulnerabilities which is reported by dependabot or any other tool, you need to go to your board and create manual tickets, right? So that's a hectic task but automation helps you just create all the tickets for all the vulnerabilities which are there. It will just create all the tickets with each and every detail, and those are very crisp. Okay, so going back uh, to my presentation. So this is the end-to-end workflow of Jira automation. So whenever vulnerability is detected in GitHub, issue automatically created in Jira, developer fixes the code. So what if so how the Jira automation gets closed or the Jira ticket gets closed, right? So whenever you will be fixing, so let's take an instance, you have this Jira ticket created for a particular vulnerability, right? So if I go and fix this vulnerability, so I will be opening this. So let's say I have fixed this vulnerability, I have pushed the code, and now this vulnerability is closed, right? So automatically, what will happen is the ticket which is created for this vulnerability will automatically marked as done. Okay, and automatically marked as done, and in the security container or in the security tab over here, all that particular vulnerability will not be visible. Okay, so if I go, I might be having one. Yeah, so if you see the left side of here, right? So this is the way how the vulnerabilities will be or will be shown in Jira. And at the right side where you see the work item, I believe it's too small to see. So let me make it big. Okay, so yeah, so whenever so this work item, so if a particular work item or ticket is created for this particular vulnerability, you will be seeing over here. Okay, so this is how the security tab looks like. Okay, so now we will be seeing the GitHub actions. So till now we are seeing uh, GitHub automation, which is pre-built with Jira. Okay, so Jira automation, my bad, Jira automation, which is pre-built with Jira, right? But now what we will be seeing is we will be seeing how we can leverage or use the GitHub automation or GitHub workflows uh, to do security scanning, number one, and to create Jira ticket and track Jira ticket. Okay, so again, I will be giving you a short demo via code. Uh, okay, so just before that, I want to go through some of the slides which are present. Yeah. So what GitHub Action does is run security scan. So whenever I push something on my code, right? So it will be running a security scan. Okay, and for my GitHub Action or my GitHub workflow, I can like schedule it as a cron job. Okay, so for let's say every day at around 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., my GitHub automation will run or GitHub workflow will run. And if there is any security vulnerability present in my repo, it will report it. Okay, so what is the typical workflow looks like? Code push to a particular repo, GitHub Actions run security scan, vulnerability found, API call sent to Jira. So we will be leveraging the Jira APIs or Jira API calls which are present. So Jira gives a couple of API which you can leverage to create ticket, to get all the details of your ticket and other things as well. So we will be leveraging the API call, and we will be sending those calls to Jira, and the Jira ticket will be created, right? So GitHub Action for security now, sample GitHub Action workflow actual implementation we will be seeing in some time. So let's say we have a Dependa bot alert detected, right? So what the code will do or the GitHub Action will do is it will fetch open vulnerabilities using GitHub security APIs. Okay, so we will be leveraging the GitHub security API as well. So GitHub gives us couple of APIs to track the security vulnerabilities. So it will extract the unique GHSA IDs or rule IDs, right? So GHSA means GitHub Security Advisory Identifiers. So this GHSA IDs we will be using, and we will be seeing where we can actually find a particular GHSA ID in a particular vulnerability. Okay. So now, so the action which we have are the composite action. So custom action will run, and it can run on a particular schedule. As I said, let's say 12 p.m. Every day I have scheduled it like a cron job, or I can manually trigger the workflow as well. Okay. So what vulnerability, so it will do the vulnerability analysis. So it will pass the JSON response, so we will be getting the response as a JSON. So it will identify open and unique GHSA ID. Okay. And it will not deduplicate the Jira ticket. So let's say for a particular GHSA ID, there is already a Jira ticket created. It will not be creating a duplicate Jira ticket for that particular vulnerability. Okay. So we are leveraging JQL for that. So query Jira using JQL, check if a Jira issue already exists in the same project, same component with the same GHSA level, and the status is not equals to done. If the ticket is still open and the ticket is not closed, then it will not deduplicate the ticket. Okay. Uh, so what are the decision point over here? Existing Jira found, skip the check or skip the Jira ticket creation step. If no Jira ticket is found, mark GHSA for ticket creation. So create a new ticket for that particular vulnerability. Okay. So now I will be going and showing you the steps for it, and let me quickly jump. Okay. So I have basically two repositories. So this is a repository which is a consumer repository basically. So this is written in Angular, and I have some vulnerabilities present over here. Okay. So if I go to security and go to Dependabot, so I have a couple of vulnerabilities reported over here. Okay. And talking on the GHSA ID, so if you see, for every Dependabot, I have a GHSA ID, something like this. Okay, GitHub Security Advisory Identifier. Okay, so it will be present whenever you open a particular vulnerability. A GHSA unique GHSA ID will be there for that. Okay, now I go back to the security. So there are a couple of around 21 security vulnerabilities present, and it is reported by Dependabot. So this is one of my repo, and let's take an instance. This is the repo which you have your code in, you have your business logic, you have your project's code over here, and there is security. So what I did is I have created another repo. Okay, so I will open that. Just a second. Yeah. So this is a repo which has some GitHub actions or GitHub composite actions which can be leveraged by other repos. So I have some composite actions. Let's take Dependabot, and if I click on action.yaml, so you will be seeing this is a action, and it's a using composite. So this is a composite action which is present, which helps other repos for scanning and creating Jira tickets for a particular vulnerability. Okay. So if I go back to the original repo, which is a consumer repo, and this is a provider repo. So vulnerability to Jira ticket is a provider repo, and this is a consumer repo. Okay. Now, if you see, if I go back to my Jira account, just give it. Yeah, this is the one. So if you see, if I go to my backlogs, right, I have only 15 Jira tickets as of now created. And for this security vulnerabilities, there is no Jira ticket present in my backlog. Okay. So what I can do is I will open my Dependabot Jira code. So this is the code. And I have commented the cron job as of now just to show it over here that whenever I push this code, this uh, workflow will run. It will basically calls my composite actions which is present in the repo vulnerability to Jira ticket, and it will run, and again it will utilize this action called Dependabot Jira. Okay, so if I open that, so yeah, this is the action which will be utilized. And if I walk you through the action, what it particularly does is, so it checks open Dependabot alerts if you have any open Dependabot alerts present or not. So how it checks it, it directly calls the GitHub API with your repository, and this is the part, and it only fetches the vulnerabilities which state is equals to open. Okay, and it does some kind of processing. It fetches and extract the GHSA IDs, right? And it the next step what it does is I check if Jira ticket already exists or not, right? So for that I utilize some Jira APIs which is provided by Jira. So I take the count of the approximate count if there are duplicate Jira ticket created for that particular GHSA ID, and for that I utilize JQL query. So if you see this query, right, what I do is, so my project, Jira project, okay, and labels, and inside the label tag in the Jira ticket, what I do is I insert the GHSA ID and where status not equals to done. Okay, and so this is the particular API call which I do to Jira to fetch if there are if there are already Jira tickets created for a particular vulnerability or not. If not, create a new Jira ticket. If already a vulnerability is existing, then you can skip the step to create a new Jira ticket. Okay, so that check I do it in my consumer repo. So if you see over here, right, so depend about to Jira output, issue found is true if there is a new issue found and the GHSA ID is not equals to empty. Okay, then only this step will run where the new Jira ticket will be created. Otherwise this step will not run, it will skip. Okay, so I will give it run it as action. Let's say I do some kind of change and I will do a small commit. Let's give commit number 32 or something like that. I go back to my browser. So this is the one. I go to actions. So you see my action started to run. Okay. So this is commit number 32. It's running the action. So see, as there are no Jira tickets present for the vulnerabilities which are present in my GitHub, so the ticket creation started. So in some time, I will be going back to Jira and see how the tickets are created. So my job is completed, right? I go back to my backlog. I will refresh it and see, let's see if the Jira tickets are created or not. Perfect. So you see, for my repo, which says Somyosina 1994, depend about Jira is my name. So the tickets are created. Okay. So it has the link. So this is this description you can modify. So if I show you, so I have a action written as create Jira ticket as well. So inside this, you can, or I can give more description. I can add other component labels, etc. to my Jira tickets, right? So for this demo, I have kept it short. Okay. So this is how you can utilize the Jira GitHub actions to create Jira ticket. Okay. So if I show you, so the Jira tickets are already created for the open vulnerabilities which I have in my repository, right? So what if I rerun this job again, right? It should not create the Jira ticket again because then it will be duplicate. So if I rerun this job, let's see what happens. So it again fetches everything from Jira. It's to do some kind of processing, right? So you see, all GHSA ID already have Jira tickets. Okay, it already shows that you have already Jira ticket created for all the vulnerabilities is present. No new vulnerability is present. Okay, so if I click back, so see, I refresh it once. Yeah, so see this job create Jira ticket is skipped. Okay, so let's do experiment. Let me take a particular Jira ticket. For instance, I will be going over here and let's say 387. Okay, I will open this. So this is a Jira ticket and it has the GHSA ID for this one. Okay, so yeah, so if you see, there are some dones and some to do. So this is the one which is newly created for this GHSA ID. Okay, what I will do is I will copy this GHSA ID and let's keep it somewhere safe. Okay, for future reference. And what I will do is I will mark this ticket as also done. Okay. Now for this GHSA ID, I don't have a new Jira ticket created. So what if I run my workflow again? Will it create just a single Jira ticket? Because for that particular GHSA ID, that ticket is already closed. So let's give it a rerun again. So just give some seconds to it. Yeah. See, as I have only one Jira ticket which is new, or one vulnerability for which Jira ticket is not found, so it created just one Jira ticket. Now, if I go back to my search and just hit enter, yeah, see, a new ticket is created again, and which says it's a new one, and for this GHS ID, right? So this is a very beautiful, and it gives you opportunity to do more with your action because it's your code. You can utilize it, you can modify it as per your need. With Jira, automation actually lacks in, because it does not provide you that much openness which like with which you can create your Jira ticket, right? So basically we will see some of the differences or comparisons between Jira automation and the GitHub workflow which we just saw. Okay. So setup effort. So there is, for Jira automation, if I speak, it's very low because it's just click and the configuration is almost done, right? So for Gira, for GitHub workflow, so it requires some kind of prior knowledge of GitHub actions, how you can write an action, what is composite action, how you can manage workflows in GitHub, right? So it's sometime medium to high effort workflow effort you need to give, right? So what are the operational overhead? So it's very minimal. So no pipeline, no secret. Jira manages everything, right? So with the use of GitHub workflow, it's basically high. So if why high, I will show you. So basically we utilize some pat tokens or some security tokens which we have, right? So if I go back over here, so you will be seeing to call, whenever I am calling, uh, where is that? Yeah, whenever I am calling my GitHub actions or my GitHub APIs, I'm using a GitHub token. Okay. In the same way, whenever I am calling the Jira API, right? So I have a token created for that as well. Without that, I can't use it. So Jira API token. So let me quickly show you where exactly the Jira API tokens and how you can create a Jira API token if you want to leverage this. Okay. So if I go to my profile and go to account settings, let it load. Yeah, so if you go to security, right, and you come down, you will be having an option for API tokens, and you can create and manage your API token. So if I click over here, okay, it asks me to verify. Let me quickly verify. Where is my Gmail? 00842923. Yeah, so see, there are certain Jira API token which I have created. So if you want to create one, you can just create API token. You can give an expiry name and just hit on create. It will be giving you a Jira API token which you can utilize to call the Jira automation APIs. Okay, and if you want to create a API token with particular scope, you can also do that. So there are certain steps where you can utilize to create a API token with a particular scope. Okay, so if you create a just API token, it will be having all the scopes which Jira provides you. Okay, so this is how you can create an API token. So coming back to the PPT, so yeah, for GitHub workflows, you need some API tokens to be created. There is high chance of workflow failures. There might be chance for retries, and you need to do some kind of error handlings over there. Okay. Flexibility and custom logic, if I speak. So Jira automation is kind of restricted or limited to custom logic and flexibility. So automation UI restrict advanced conditions, branching and transformations. And in GitHub workflow, as you are writing your own code, you can give any kind of custom logic over there. So logic written, you can use bash, JS, actions code, like unlimited customization you can get. Okay. So trigger latency, it's immediate for Jira automation. For GitHub workflows, it can be immediate, but depends on workflow execution and scheduling. So whenever you want, you can run the workflow directly by going to Jira from here, right? Okay. So yeah, from here you can directly run the job, or you can schedule it as a cron job as well. Okay. So what about context richness? It's like good for Jira automation, where security smart values are available. So these are called security smart values, where vulnerability dot display name automatically fetches the display name from your vulnerability. In GitHub workflow, it's very good. Like I would say it excellent. You can fetch extra metadata, commit, PR, difference. You can blame. So as it is your custom logic, custom code, you can do whatever you want with GitHub workflow. So customization is very limited with Jira automation. Okay. So you can use automation UI or smart values like vulnerability.display name, right? And customization is very much open in GitHub workflow. So it's very high. You have your own code, customize like as you want. Okay. So maintenance cost is very low for Jira automation because there will not be any maintenance cost involved if you have some kind of premium Jira account, right? So those cost will be, so Jira automation cost will be counted as part of that. And in GitHub workflow, you have some cost involved, like you need to have code tokens, error handlings, etc. So there are some maintenance cost involved in that. So secrets required, are no particular secrets required for Jira automation. And in GitHub automation, as we saw, we need some Jira API tokens, GitHub tokens for us, like for a service account. And we need to manage the storage as well. So we need to make sure that those are stored securely, right? Otherwise, anyone can like utilize it or like do some kind of bad stuff with your token, right? So deduplication, so that's a very basic with Jira automation. It's not built in. Duplicates created for same GHSA unless custom lookup logic is added. So Jira automation does not deduplicate the ticket for the same GHSA IDs, right? So you need to do some kind of custom lookup logic or add some custom lookup logic to your Jira automation. In GitHub workflows, it's under your control, it's full control. You can write your own code to check if Jira already a particular Jira ticket is created for a vulnerability. So, and you can skip in the next run, right? So check Jira, store cache, use issue link or label, whatever you want, it's under your control. So there are some more comparisons, right? So scaling across many repos can be done, but may require many rule scopes, right? So I can write a single Jira automation and I can add multiple repos to it. It can be done. Yeah. And GitHub workflow easier to centralize by a single action or composite action. Like what I did, I have a repo, right, which has a composite action written, and other repos or consumer repo can utilize that action or call that action as per their need. Okay. What about observability and logs, which is very important? If something goes wrong, we should have observability and logs present. So Jira rule audit logs is present. If something goes wrong with your automation, you can see it in Jira rule audit logs. And in GitHub, we have the GitHub workflow logs. So if something goes wrong, I can directly go to my workflow and check it from here. So if I check open depend about alerts, I can check all the logs from here. So that's pretty much straightforward, right? Permission model, it's managed by Atlassian project or a space scope, right? Jira automation is managed by your Atlassian admin. If you don't have the admin permission for your Jira space, you will not be seeing this option for creating a Jira automation. So the one which I'm seeing something like this, you will not be seeing it. Okay. So that's one demerit which you need to have the admin access to create a Jira automation. So the next one is like permission model. So GitHub workflow is token scope. So the token which which you have created should have the correct scope to read the Jira tickets from your Jira account. Also, those tokens should have the scopes to read the security tab from your GitHub. A component cannot be assigned correctly. So there is a limitation in Jira automation where project specific component cannot be. So let's say if you have an component called CF gateway, so that cannot be applied in Jira automation. And in GitHub, I can apply any component as of my need. Okay, if I have a component called CF gateway, I can apply it in my GitHub workflow. So failure and handling and retries, Jira manages retry, limited custom retry logic. So again, Jira automation have some limited custom retry logics, but with your own code, you can do custom logic retries, anything which you basically want, right? Issue linking or traceability, which is in Jira automation strong, automatic mapping to security container and vulnerability entity, right? And in GitHub workflow, it's manual. Must add link comment explicitly in Jira payload. Okay, so whenever you are creating the payload, Jira payload, something like whenever you are creating the JQL, you should have this like automate manual creation, or you need to specify. If I go back over here and go here, so this is the Jira payload. So you need to manually give over here what are the component basically you need. Okay. Uh, Admin access needed for Jira automation, as I already said. Yes, you need an admin access to create automation rule or edit automation rule. In GitHub workflow, no, you don't need any kind of admin access. If you are a repo maintainer and you have the basic permission to push it in any repo, so you can have the GitHub workflow created. So scalability across teams, it's limited, like manual rule duplication handler to info standards. So let's say I have multiple spaces, right? So I have multiple teams present. So for multiple teams space, I can't use this single automation for each and every new space. I have to write that same automation. So it's kind of duplication for new space if or new teams across your organization. So and in GitHub workflow, it's very good. You can have one repo created with your composite action. So like this, which I have one for like depend about uh, creation, Jira creation, one I have written for create Jira tickets, so and one for the code scanning. So something like that you can create, and the consumer repos can utilize your this repo or call this repo for like security tracking and creation of new vulnerabilities. So what are the ideal use case? Jira automation is simple, low maintenance. Vulnerability to Jira ticket creation is pretty much faster, right? GitHub workflow is bit complex, but it's organization-wide automation. It's more flexibility and it's in reach, right? So choose what as per your need. If you need a more simple, you don't need the headache of maintaining tokens, or you don't want to write any code, or you are very new to GitHub workflows, GitHub actions, you can use Jira automation. But if you want more control over your automation, more uh, custom logics, then you go for GitHub workflow. So, what are the key takeaways? Now, I am pretty much at the end. So, what are the key takeaways? So, automation is faster and safer, right? Jira is your security control center. So, use Jira, utilize Jira as your security control center, right? GitHub Actions is the engine. So, we saw how GitHub Action helps us to create the vulnerabilities. uh, DevSecOps work best when it is automated. So please do automate whenever you see an opportunity to automate something which is done manually. Please go ahead and automate it, right? So any question and answers will are welcome. If you guys have any questions, and
Thank you
yeah,
so much, Shomo. I mean, this was really a very insightful session, I would say, connecting the
thank you.
dots when it comes to Jira automation and GitHub vulnerability tracking, because I wasn't aware of this use case. And definitely, as you mentioned, that understanding the trade-offs, that is very important, whichever tool we use for automation,
Right.
be it GitHub workflow or Jira automation.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, folks, if you have any questions for Shomo, you can please use the chat. And I think Rupendra was asking for the sample GitHub repositories that you were just demoing. So would
I
it be
will be
possible
sending it.
to?
Yes.
Yeah, great,
Yes.
great then. So
I will
yes,
be sending
Rupendra,
all the repositories.
thank you so much. We'll be sharing across everything in the post wrap up mail, so nothing to worry.
So the funny part is now Jira is up again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe if you want, because we have 15 more minutes before we wrap
Right.
up the
Right.
session.
I'm just,
So, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
please
I'm
go
just
ahead.
trying if it's literally up. Yeah. So let me quickly share my screen and again. So entire screen, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I will go back to my space again. Okay. So let me go back to the space. Okay. Yeah. So let me give it a refresh again. It worked for me. Yeah, so I think now it is up. So again, I am back to the same thing. You can connect your own tools to manage security workplace in one place, right? So the automation which we have created some time ago, so that was giving you a warning, right, to connect a tool or connect your GitHub account to it. So what I will do is I will click on finish setup, and as we have installed GitHub already, as I show, we have installed the GitHub from the marketplace of Jira. So it will show you GitHub security, and it will give you an option to set up. Let me click on setup, right? So now I will click on continue. I need to select GitHub Cloud. I will do next. So it's connecting. Yeah. So now this is my GitHub accounts, right? So if I show you quickly, go a bit up. Yeah. So this is my GitHub account. Okay. So I will click on connect. Yeah. And I don't want to add anything, right? I don't want to add any other organization. I can click on exit setup. So it will take some time, and you see all my repos are already connected over here. It's showing me 0 of 16 repos. Okay. And it's in progress now. Okay. So let me give a quick refresh and see if we have. Okay, it's still in progress. 3 of the repos are already connected out of 16. Okay, let me give one more refresh. Okay, now it's shares as finish. Okay, so what I will do is uh, I will go back to Jira. I will go back to my space, and again I will click on security, and let's say, okay, so it's again showing us finish setup. Okay, now I have already connected to my GitHub account, right? Now I want to select the container. Container are nothing but your repos, right? So it gives us give me the name of my name of my organization or name of my GitHub account, and it give me all the repos which I have, right? So if you want, you can select individual repo where you want to track the vulnerabilities. For now, I will be just selecting all the repos and click on connect. And it's success, and I will give a refresh to it. Okay, let's just give just some time to it. It sometimes takes some time. Okay, if it is setup is done, let us check. Yeah, all the container, okay, connect security container. I believe all the containers are already connected. Okay, so I will connect these all as well. I think I have missed those. Okay, yeah, see, bingo, we have the vulnerabilities started to come. Seeing this from my GitHub account, whatever vulnerability which I have just started to report in my security tab inside my space in Jira, right? So I will just give one more refresh and see if my automation ran or not. Right? Yeah, perfect. It ran for one of that. So see, a ticket is also created. That's great. I will see this ticket. Right. So you have all the details and other things. And if I go to this and let's see if it's taking in my repo, perfect. See, it took me and the ticket is created. So this is the last bit which we were missing in this demo, and fortunately, I could demo this to all of you as well. So yeah, Ananya, over to you again. So this is the bit which was missing. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, for taking that up.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, demos always come up with, this kind of problems during the presentation. I think in the last one also we faced quite some issues with
right.
technical issues. But yeah, I mean, that's a very normal thing. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was a great session, Shomo. I really appreciate you contributing for this community, and definitely we look forward to many such more sessions with you. So thank you
yeah,
so much
yeah,
for,
sure.
yeah.
We'll be happy to do that. Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, sure. And yes, so now comes the fun part. So we have like a voucher that we want to give away, but we will be doing like a kind of a lottery for selecting the winner. We prepared a quiz, but I think we'll be overshooting the time. So maybe we'll keep that for the next session, probably. So let me share my screen. I hope it's visible to everyone, if someone can confirm.
Yeah, yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so we have Shomu, Rutuja, Rupendra, Ankita, Hari Krishna, Dhananjay, and Shivam today with us. So we'll quickly just use this app, WooClap, and we'll spin the wheel and we'll see who's the lucky winner for today. Awesome. So Hari Krishna is basically our winner for today. So Hari, we'll get in touch with you and for the vouchers, and definitely I will be coming up with all the resources that was shared today as part of the demo, including the recording as requested by Dhananjay as well. So yeah, I mean, with that, we wrap up today's session. Thank you so much for joining in. And yeah, I mean, thanks to all the chapters for collaborating with us and making this event more special and showing your support. Thanks, Shivam, for being there throughout the session. Really appreciate your help and support, and I look forward to many more collaborations with your chapter. So yeah, with that, I just want to wish you a happy weekend. Have a good rest, recharge before you take up challenges next week, and see you very soon in our next virtual events or the CLC that we are planning very soon for Kolkata chapter. So thank you for joining in. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining.